Hey you guys, happy Monday. I wanted to talk to you about a topic that has been on my mind, and also that I have had a lot of you reaching out to me about, and that is gaining spousal support, okay, or significant other, whether you're married, have a boyfriend, whatever it is, okay? So first of all, I want to tell you how important it is. If you think you're going to be doing this business Lone Ranger, that is not the best way to approach it. It is very important to get your significant other on board, and I'm going to give you a few tips on how to do that. First of all, I want to tell you that this has been an ongoing not struggle. My husband is very supportive. He supported me since day one. However, that being said, we have had to evolve and figure out what works and what doesn't with network marketing and with me working from home and trying to keep up with my husband and my 3 kids. I have 3 kids under 3. I have a 2.5-month-old. My business is exploding. My husband works a lot of hours. The kids are 3 and almost 2. We have birthday parties. We have friends. My family all live close, and my mom's been struggling with some health issues. So I get it. It's really hard. But here are a few tips that I hope are helpful for you that I have done with my husband over and over, and we have done together to try and really get on the same page. Because the biggest tip I can give you is communication. Having an open line of communication with your significant other is gold. Okay, so a few tips. Number 1, you need to sit down with your husband or your significant other. I'm going to refer to them as significant other, so like it doesn't exclude anyone, okay? You need to sit down with your significant other and you need to give them your whys, okay? We talk a lot about whys. I want to go super deep into whys within our team, but right now I'm trying to address things as they're coming up, and I know a lot of people have been asking me about this, okay? So I just finally sat down with my husband. When I first started direct sales, I had no idea. I'm trying to talk quiet because like everybody in my house is sleeping right now. I had no idea how much went in to direct sales. I had no idea. And I started to make a little bit of extra money and get healthy. I was in a different direct sales company before the one I'm in now. And once I hit the ground running with both, and I had no idea how much you'd have to be on your phone, how much time you'd have to commit, how stressful it can be, the growing pains you'll go through, the betrayal you'll go through with people, but you'll also find amazing people. I dramatically underestimated all of those things. So once I got started and I was so deep, and I tend to be a workaholic by nature. And I like working. I like staying busy. I've always been that way. So then I found myself always being in business mode and then getting irritated with the kids because they wouldn't sit still while I could do this. And my husband wanted me to hang out with me and didn't want me on my phone, and I was upset with him and it wasn't working. So I had a heart-to-heart with my husband, okay? I had a heart-to-heart with him, and I told him why I want to do this and what my goals are. Now, your whys will have a very wide range, okay? So my first why was to just get a discount. Off the first company I was with, I just wanted a discount. And then I wanted to pay for my initial startup. And then when I did those things right away, then I wanted to make an extra couple $100 from home each month to pay for my groceries. And then that started happening. Then I wanted to make $500 a month, and that started happening. Then I wanted to be able to pay a babysitter so I could take my guy out on a date, and that started happening. But your whys will morph and evolve with your business, but I also have ongoing whys. So outside of wanting to keep myself busy, because being a stay-at-home mom is wonderful but has its own challenges. I wanted something that could help me stay busy. So that was my number 1 why. Then I wanted to make some additional income. But beyond that, I have huge dreams and goals, and most of us do. Most of us, when you're younger, you have huge dreams and goals, and then once you start getting into adult life, you almost feel immature for even thinking about those dreams and goals. You give up on them because you're like barely surviving on the minimum dream you ever imagined. But if you can learn to get in touch with those things that God has already placed on your heart for a reason, and start saying, yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I want to do this. And share those with your spouse. Maybe your spouse, you're learning to dream. When you become an entrepreneur, you really start learning to dream outside yourself. And part of that is teaching your spouse to dream. And most of our spouses have the same big dreams that we originally had. Maybe it's just harder for them to dream past that because of the stage of life that you are in. So honestly, I tell my husband, he thinks I'm crazy. I tell my husband my huge dreams, you guys. Like, I always joke to him, like, I'm gonna run for president someday. And he just laughs. But my new thing is, I'm like, I wanna write a book. I wanna write a book. I'm gonna write a book someday. And lately he's like, you keep saying that. I think you're actually gonna write a book. And I'm like, you're darn right. Someday I'm gonna write a book. I don't know when, but I am. And even you can do it in a joking way and a serious way. And we do that often. I tell him my whys. Number 2, you need to discuss and tell him your goals. You need to realize that you running this business is affecting him as well as your kids. So anytime I'm pushing for a goal, I consult with my husband first. I'm like, in my last business, I'm like, I want to rank this month. This is the rank I want to hit. This is what I have to do to get there. What do you think about that? Are you on board? And we talk about it. And I'm like, that would mean I break it down so he understands. I'm like, that would mean if I have to do that, then I won't be able to do these things. I won't be able to always cook these elaborate meals. We'll probably be eating out more. The house is going to be messy. The kids might be grouchy. I'm going to need more help with the kids. Blah, blah, blah. I explained to him my goals because goals and whys are different. A why is the outcome, okay? A goal is what you have to do every single day to break it down to get to your why. So your goal is kind of like the train taking you to your why, if that makes sense. Let's see. Another thing is share to your husband how this business is going to benefit everybody. I have shared over and over to my husband, like, I like, oh, well, this is going to help us because now we can go on dates and get whatever we want. We can go to really nice restaurants, get whatever we want because we're making that extra money. Or I'm going to be happier because I'm not just sitting at home spinning my wheels. Blah, 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 blah. So share that stuff with your significant other. I'm going to stick as far as sharing. We share, you guys. I talk to my husband on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly basis, sometimes like day in and day out. And it doesn't have to be like a huge conversation where you're like sitting down and like writing it out. Just tell him like, hey, I really want to do this. What do you think about that? Hey, I had this thought. Like I always tell him, God placed on my heart this dream. I've always had a dream to support an orphanage overseas and I want to go over there and help. Not like be a missionary over there, but I want to have a work over there. And I've had that dream since I was like 9 years old. And I've never even told my husband about it until recently. Because I'm like, you know what? God placed that in my heart for a specific reason. And I need to share that. If I ever want it to come true, I need to share it and start talking about it. Next, I don't know what number we're on. Oh, this is an important one. You cannot complain about your business, okay? You cannot complain about your business to your spouse. And here's why. If you need to complain, you go to your upline or you go to a friend or whatever. As far as uplines and downlines go, note this down. Someone said this once and I've never forgotten it. You build down and you complain up. So do not go to the people in your downline and complain to them. That's going to discourage them and you're supposed to be a leader. If you are complaining to your downline, you're done. You're going to ruin your business. It is your job as a leader to stay positive and motivated and keep your team motivated. If you're complaining to them, it's the worst thing you can do. So complain up. Talk to your upline. Talk to your upline's upline. Talk to a friend who's not even related. Do not complain to your husband or your significant other. If you're doing that, like my business I have good and bad hours, you guys. People are like, oh my gosh, you're killing it. Like, I can't believe how great you're doing. And I'm like, it looks like that, but I put a lot of work in for the last year and a half in making connections and investing in people and all of this stuff. And I am. My business is exploding more than I even imagined, you guys, and I am so grateful for that, and it is 100% God. But that being said, I, on a daily basis, have struggles. And that is the life of an entrepreneur, and that is especially a life of an entrepreneur who is constantly moving forward. I say it all the time, and you guys will hear me say it 100 times over. I have failed forward. I have done so many wrong things, but I've moved forward, okay? So when I'm having a bad day or a bad hour or whatever, I don't even tell my husband about it. Like if he's like, oh, are you kind of stressed out? I'm like, oh my gosh, you have no idea. I can't even explain it. Like I can't even get into it right now. Once I resolved the issue, I'll be like, oh my gosh, do you want to hear this really funny story? And then I'm like, this happened. And I'll tell him like, this happened, that happened, but I solved it. And then he's like, oh my gosh, like it's a funny thing, right? Do not complain to him. Do not be miserable around him. Are you gonna get stressed out? Yes, I get stressed out all the time. Are you gonna be grouchy because things that happen that don't go your way? Yes, it happens to me all the time. But don't take it out on them. That is recipe for them not supporting you and not wanting you to be in this business. And you know how I know that? Because I've done it before. I've done it where I'm running around stressed out, and then it's like the kids are grouchy and he's grouchy and the house is messy, and it all started with me. And I learned that I don't have that luxury anymore. If I want to actually build this business, if I want to actually help my family, help other people, help them help other people, reach my huge dreams, I can't be so weak as to just complaining and negative all the time. Oh, this is a good one. Use the term ours, okay? Don't say my team, my compensation check, my downline, my sales. Use it as ours. I tell them all the time, hey, I need some advice for my business partner. They want to be included in your business. They really do. So I always tell him like, oh, like we got another person in our downline and our business is taking off and our this, our that, to include him. He wants to be part of it and he needs to feel like he's part of it. He really does. Oh, another thing is celebrate your downline success with your husband, okay? I have done this so much. He loves to hear that I'm like, oh my gosh, so-and-so in my downline was able to make these sales or launch her party and had this much sales, and now it's helping her family out in this way. So he knows that his sacrifice in letting me do this, helping me with the kids, helping me around the house, not being grouchy if I don't have dinner made, his sacrifice is paying off bigger than just our family. And he can feel like he has part in what you did with the people in your downline and to help them, okay? Oh, and last, you guys, I struggle with this so much, but it is so important. Be present when you are with him and your family. I cannot tell you how many times I have missed out. It makes me want to cry. I have missed out on opportunities to be with my family because I'm on my phone and I'm a hustler. And the entrepreneurs that make it big, the people who make it big in these companies, most of you on this team have told me like, I want to make it big. Like I have these dreams, I have these goals. Most of us are hustlers by nature and I thrive off of a good hustle, you guys. But I will get so wrapped up in that I am missing all the wonderful things around me. And you can never get time with your family back. You can never get your kids back to the age they are now. So set specific times aside. I just recently started from when my kids wake up from their nap until bedtime. I set a timer and that I can't touch my phone. And I have a reminder that says, put your phone down and play with the kids. Now, that being said, if it's something important, if it's a sale that comes in or the distributor that's wanting to sign or something like that, I'll hop on quick and do it and get off. But there have been too many days that I spent with the phone in my face and I was missing all the beautiful things around me. And to me, as much as I want to be successful in this business and as much as I want all of you to be successful in this business, I don't want to get to the top and look back at my 6 and 7-year-old kids that I don't even know what happened the last couple years. And I don't want to get so separated from my husband, who's started out being my very best friend and soulmate, to be a complete stranger and roommate with him all over a business, okay? So I'm going to do a quick review. Message me if you have any questions. I hope this is helpful. Number 1, share your why, your real, raw, transparent whys with your spouse. Number 2, set goals. Number 3, do not complain about your business. Number 4, use the term ours. And number 5, be present with your family. Okay? I hope you all have a wonderful Monday. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video.